Good afternoon, everyone, or I suppose good morning or evening, depending on where you are watching. It has been a long time since I've sat in front of my camera and recorded, so bear with me whilst I get back into the swing of it. Today is Friday, I want to say 12th of November, but where's my date gone? Yes, it is 12th of November, 2021. This year has just flown by. Last time I filmed was beginning of May, right after our wedding. And yeah, life got busy very quickly, so I haven't done that much stitching, and the longer I left it, the harder it became. But the last month or so, I've been getting back to it. So I thought, now that everything seems to have settled down a little, I can film and basically show you all what I've been getting up to. Now, a quick life update is that the reason life got busy was that right before we went on honeymoon, so we had to wait until the 17th of May when everything in the UK reopened and we went down to Cornwall for our honeymoon. But the day before we left, this happened. So we found out that we were going to be adding to our little family, and we found out at 16 weeks that it's a girl. So I am now 6.5 months pregnant. You can't see in this setup, but yeah, she's getting quite big and she's kicking away and letting us know that she's here. We did find out a few weeks ago that I've got gestational diabetes, so that's been a learning curve and a half. I really thought that not having sugar was going to be the hardest part, and turns out no. It turns out I love carbs and I miss carbs, and I'm going to be taking 3 bags to the hospital. 1 full of my things, 1 full of baby things, and 1 full of the snacks that I'll be allowed to eat again once baby is here. Yeah, I miss bread and mashed potato and, you know, all the good stuff. But it's worth it if it means that she gets here safely. There may be a slight gap in this, or skip in the video, because I do have to take my sugars in about 45 minutes, so if my alarm goes off and we're still filming, I will pause it and go do that and then come back. So we do have a lot to get through because it has been so long. So let's get started. So, new starts. Okay, so I've got Travel Memories by Dimensions. It was their Gold Petites collection. If you remember from my last video, I did tell you that I was planning on starting it on my birthday, and I did. My birthday occurred whilst we were on honeymoon, and unfortunately that was the only time that this was picked up. I haven't come back to it. I haven't really even taken it out of the tin that I've got it kept in. I've just been so busy and I've had other projects that I wanted to work on, but this is what it will look like when it is finished. It's an absolutely adorable pattern and it just makes me think of Paris. We had one of our best ever trips in Paris, so I love looking at it and being reminded of that trip. So on my birthday I was able to get a nice little start in, and you can see there I've just started with the black on the butterfly. I wanted to get that outline in and then add the colour afterwards. So it was maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours work on my birthday. We did a lot of walking when we went to Cornwall, and yeah, my birthday, I was like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sit in this beautiful cottage and I'm going to do my stitching and, you know, just enjoy some downtime. It was a lovely honeymoon, but definitely marred slightly by the fact that I wasn't allowed to drink, and the weather the first week wasn't great, but the weather the second week was beautiful, so it more than made up for it. And also that opportunity to spend some time together without work, without any responsibilities, was really lovely after a year of no travel at all. It was really, really special. Yeah, so that was my one new start. Another new start I haven't got with me, it's upstairs, so I'll insert a photo here. It's now a whip. I was making it for a friend's birthday, but again, I was battling morning sickness at the time, so it wasn't ready in time. So it will be made for someone's birthday at some point. I changed the colours from the chart, so the chart is the birthday cup by Stitching with the Housewives. It's on 28 count black even weave. I'm using classic colourworks, but not the called for. I wanted to make it quite girly. The friend I was stitching for is female, and I wanted to make it quite girly and pastels. So I used my own choices of threads to make it a little bit more feminine. I really enjoy stitching the cups. I can't explain why. They're really just fun, cute designs. This is the second one I've ever done, and yeah, I was enjoying it, but again, it wasn't finished on time. It's also stored actually in a project bag that I made myself. I was quite impressed. I made it using, I think I've got it written down somewhere. Yes, I do, under finishes. Using the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial for a vinyl front project bag, and it'll be linked in the description below. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I didn't expect, I mean, I'll pop a picture up, but I didn't expect it to be as easy as it was. Not having used my machine for very much since we bought it a year ago, it was really lovely to be able to use it and figure it out enough to make a serviceable project bag. And yeah, I was really, really happy with it. So there's that. Other finishes, so I don't have them with me again, so it'll be photos only. But I finished the June stamp by Lizzie Kate whilst we were on honeymoon. Stitching on the beach is tricky but doable. So I finished my June stamp, and a picture will be put here. And yeah, again, just used 14 count Aida from Stash, and my own choice of threads from Stash, and just got it done. But that was the last of the stamps that I've done this year. I've still got the other 6 months of the year left to go, and I will be getting them done hopefully in 2022. It's just, again, I have other projects that I've been more drawn to, and this is supposed to be fun, right? You know, no one else wants to be told what to do, or at least I don't like being told what to do. It's why gestational diabetes has not been fun for me. I hate being told what to do. Yeah, oh, I finished, if you follow me on Instagram, which has the same name as my channel now that I've changed my channel name, over on RJP Crafts, RGP_crafts. I finished Small Winter Moments by Jardin Privé, which is the second in the series that I've completed. I've already done Small Moments of Autumn last year, so I finished the winter one. It took me almost a year to do it. I started it in January, but getting that border in was hard because it's metallic thread. But here is the finished picture. I've just got to find some way of fully finishing it so that I can enjoy it after Christmas is over. Find somewhere in the house to hang it and look at the fruits of my hard work. It was adorable. I did like that each little section of the design felt like a mini finish, so that was really lovely. And yeah, it was on some printed 18 count Aida from Claire Brown X Stitch, which she has her own website, again linked below. And I really loved, I've brought all the Aida for that series from her with different prints on. So the autumn one had autumn leaves on it, the winter one had snowflakes, the summer one has honeycomb, and the spring one has cherry blossom. So I'm really excited to start those as well. I've got all the threads, they're all set ready to go. I've just got to make a start on them, but again, I have other things to be doing. You know, we are 71 days from due date, so we have lots to be getting on with. Nursery prep and antenatal classes coming up, and my baby shower is next weekend, which I'm really looking forward to. We've never had that many people in the house since we moved in over a year ago now. I mean, just over a year ago. We moved in on the 9th, and today is the 12th, so it's not like we've been here ages longer than a year. It's a couple of days, but yeah. So there are 12 ladies coming, and one of my friends is being an absolute star and organising all of that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, I made a card for my friend. She had her baby shower. She's actually 7 weeks ahead of me. So I made a card for her baby shower, and then we were told actually she didn't want cards, she wanted books. And we could write messages in the books. So instead of a card, I framed it. And it now hangs in baby's nursery. Her baby is due in like 3 weeks' time. So it's very exciting. But I'll pop a picture of that one up here. The design was by Margaret Sherry, and it was in an issue of Cross Stitcher. I want to say in 2011. I will check before I post and put it in the description box, but I'm pretty sure it was 2011. I cut it from the magazine, laminated it, and it's been sat in a drawer for years, and I've really always wanted to stitch it, so I was really happy to have the excuse to sit and stitch. I love Margaret Sherry designs. I think they're so cute, and the back stitch just absolutely makes them. So yeah, those are my finishes. Now whips. This is going to be a bit of a whip parade really, because I've got so many of them now, and I'm just full steaming ahead with all of them. We won't go in any particular order. I'm just going to grab from my craft cart and show you guys what I've got and where I'm up to with all of the different whips that you've seen numerous times. So let's start with this one. So I kept it in my lovely Beatrix Potter project bag. You guys saw this back in the, I want to say spring, when I stitched the letters. And since then, not a massive lot of work, but I have started on one of the first characters. So I've started on the owl, and he's almost finished now. His head's almost finished, and then he's got the book. That book took a long time to stitch because I think it's all literally one shade of green, and it just seemed to go on forever and ever and ever. But it's almost done now, and then I can stitch his tail and he'll be done. I think I'm going to do Whip Go next year, and so if I make each month a different character, I should be able to see some really good progress on this over the next year. So maybe by the time my baby's first birthday comes around, it'll be ready. So there is that. So that was a kit from Anchor, using all of the provided threads, but using a 28 count even weave instead of whatever came in. I think it was like 16 count Aida or something that came in the kit. So super happy with how he is looking, but again, I haven't worked on it all that much since you guys last saw it. Next is my Marvel wreath. I've shown you this quite a few times already. It was started for my brother's birthday last year. His birthday this year has come and gone, and it's still not finished. But he has had a lot of work in it, particularly in the last month. I think I've done about 1,000 stitches Some of them look a little bit messy, if I'm honest, but I'm hoping the backstitch may hide that. But this is where I am at with it. And since you guys last saw it, I've definitely filled in lots of this Iron Man motif, and all of the half cross stitch down the sides has been filled in because I hadn't done that yet. All of this around Doctor Strange's cape hadn't been done, so I've gone back and done all of those half cross stitches and getting them filled in, so that I don't have to come back and do those. And then most of Iron Man's mask is now done as well, so I'm really happy with how it's coming across. The finished project will look something like this. I'm dreading getting started on Captain America's shield because I feel like that's going to take me forever, but it's just such a big motif, and with all the colour changes that this chart has, I'm just dreading it. But no, I'm sure it'll be worth the work. Mandarinks Designs designed it. She is still on Instagram, however her Etsy shop was taken down, I think possibly because of copyright issues, which is sad, because you know, her artwork is fantastic, and it's hard these days because they don't license cross stitch for a lot of the different sort of fandoms and interests that people have, and if they did, they'd make a fortune, but they don't let people do it, and I guess I understand, but no, I love this design, and I'm sure my brother, when he finally gets it, will love it too. He had his birthday last month, and yeah, I'm sure he'll love it when it's ready. Next is the Alice in Wonderland Sal that was released in Cross Stitch magazine. I believe it was in 2020, and I waited until the end of the year, bought all the charts, and made a, I think, quite good start, but I haven't really picked it up in the last month or so. But here we go. So I've got 2 of the boxes done for the characters to go in, and a couple of the little motifs. So there's a little drink me bottle there, and there's a teapot and teacup. So I am slowly making a go of it, but it's just not holding my attention much at the moment. It's my first ever time working on linen as well, and that's been a learning curve. I had this whole line and I had to undo it because I'd miscounted. I'd only gone over 1 hole. I'd gone 2 holes across but only 1 hole up, and it threw the count of the whole box off, and I had to go back, undo it and redo it again. So I'm definitely doing more counting and trying to get used to, I think they're called slubs in the fabric, where one thread ends and another thread begins. I think you can see, yeah, just there's one. And that's quite tricky for me to get used to. Having mostly worked on Aida and even weave, that's been quite the challenge. But it's there and it's done and it's ready to go. Be picked up as soon as I want to, really, which is nice. I like having that, not having to start something from scratch. I think a lot of the times when I have projects in the wings, I really just don't want to start something that day so it doesn't get started. But there is that. Oh, Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. So this is what I've been working on the last few days. It's been lovely to get it back out. Everyone's getting in the Christmassy mood now that the John Lewis advert is out. I always feel like that's the start of the Christmas season when the John Lewis advert is on the telly. For some people it's the Coca-Cola advert, but for me, John Lewis, they knock it out of the park every year, and this year's no different. But yeah, so the last time you guys saw this, there was literally just a mason jar with some snow in it. So now this week I've done the tree, and I've put Santa in, and his sack is almost done as well. So I've done the outline, and now I'm just filling it in, which is nice to do whilst we're just sort of watching telly in an evening. I don't have to count anything, I can just fill in, which is good. Santa's shoes and eyes need to go in, but then he'll be done. I love that there's no back stitch in this chart. Very exciting for me that I don't have to do any back stitch. I can just do the whole stitches. My aim is by the end of this month to have that whole shelf done, which is very, it's close already, because there's the mason jar, the Santa, and then there is Rudolph. I say Rudolph, it's probably just a reindeer. No, he has a red nose, it is Rudolph. And some sprigs of holly, and then that shelf is done, essentially. So I shouldn't have a problem by the end of the month getting that whole shelf finished and looking beautiful. So, very excited about that. And the last whip that I have to show you, I think it's my last whip. Have a look at my list. Yes. So my last whip that I have to show you guys, I'll put that there so that I remember where it is later, is my World Travel Bookcase by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So this is my mammoth chart, which is going to take a good decade to complete. But I have got another 1,000 or so stitches into it in the last month, which is exciting. So you can see I filled in some area here and some of the areas over here, trying to get lots of those ninja stitches and those confetti stitches out of the way, so that you can see more. I've also done quite a bit down here, just when I've had a thread, a colour on the needle, and I just wanted to use up all of that thread. I am really happy with the progress, even though it is slow going. You can see the corner of the design there. I really went sort of hard into this during the pandemic and then ran out of steam with it, and literally last month was the first time I've picked this up in probably a good 8-9 months, so it was nice to pick it up again and nice to have another stab at getting some of it in. I'll definitely, I think, be happy once I've got the Taj Mahal finished, because it seems to be never ending. But I definitely think the quality of the image that you get from these is definitely worth all of the effort that goes into it. This is on 25 count magic guide, I want to say. I haven't written it down. Magic guide Aida. With all of, obviously, all the called for DMC colours. You don't want to be changing colours on a chart like this, because the picture would not look right. So that is my last whip to be showing you. I'm using Pattern Keeper to stitch that from, and it's a dream to work with. I did print off the paper pattern and was going to work from the paper, and then I've never been happier that I brought something that I have with Pattern Keeper. I think it's well worth the money, and it makes it so much less stressful of a piece, having that digital file that I can mark off my stitches and see the colour changes so much easier. Zooming in, zooming out, moving around, seeing where other you can highlight a symbol, and all of those symbols in the whole chart get highlighted, so you can see you miss less stitches that way, basically, because you're not searching with your eyes, it searches it for you. And yeah, I think it's been invaluable. So that brings me to haul. I'm like racing through this. I mean, I know I've got to insert photographs and things, but this seems to be going very well. Famous last words. So haul, I have lots to show you. I don't have it all here, so some of it will be photos and some of it will be actual physical things to show you. So for my birthday, asked my sister for my first ever Mirabilia chart. So I've seen lots of people stitch this. I think Yokohama Stitchery did it, and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World did it. And to be honest, the fancy ladies have never been me. All props to people who stitch them all the time, and I can appreciate the artistry in them, but they've just never really appealed to me. But this one definitely did, and it is Snow Queen. I'm sorry about the glare, I'm trying to angle it so that you can't see that, but there she is in all of her glory with her lovely reindeer. So my sister bought me this for my birthday, and I've since bought everything to stitch it with. My goodness, my husband came with me to Hobbycraft to get the threads, and I think he thought when I said I needed to get to a project that I was going to get 10, maybe 15 skeins of floss, and he was there reading the list out for me. It's like 46 different flosses. I did have trouble sourcing a few of them. The water lilies, there are 2 water lilies. Oh gosh, and I'm now looking at it and it's got 2 in brackets, and I'm pretty sure I've only brought 1 skein of each, so I'm going to have to go back and buy another skein of each of those. Plus the Whisper I managed to get this week, and the Krynic as well, the number 4. It was out of stock everywhere in the UK and I ended up ordering it from 123 Stitch. All of the beads and the treasures were gifted to me. I had some birthday fund money from my mother-in-law, so I used that to buy the embellishment kit. So I got all of the beads and all of the treasures in one fell swoop, and they're all in a box upstairs waiting for when they'll be used. For the fabric, I have not checked, I've not done a floss drop to make sure that this kind of floss toss, that's the word, to check that this will work. But I've bought this beautiful Belfast linen from 123 Stitch also. Let's picture this plus in Glacier Belfast linen and a 32 count, and it's just beautiful, and I think that this will work really well. Even though she has a fair amount of blue in her dress, I think there is enough purple and enough deep blue that it won't clash and it won't blend in. But I will do a floss toss on there just to make sure before I get started, because that would break my heart if I started and then it didn't work. But I bought a piece nice and big enough to be able to fit her on. I think it's got like 6 inches on either side. It's quite heavy. What I was impressed with the fabric is that it's come serged. So you can see all the way around the edges, lovely serging, which means I don't have to do it myself, which is always a plus when you don't have to worry about getting a machine out to serge something. So I'm very happy that that's done. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not sure when I'm going to start, now that I have everything, apart from those water lily threads, which I'm going to have to find and order again. Did not realise it was 2 skeins of each. I just ordered 1 skein of each and I've got them upstairs, but I'm going to need 2, then I'm going to need to get on that. So yeah, I was going to make it my Christmas start, but now I'm thinking it may be a maternity leave start. I'm due to go on maternity leave. Technically my last day is the 17th, but I booked a week of annual leave of December, not November. Baby is due 22nd of January, so I'm due to leave 17th of December, but I've actually booked that last week as annual leave, so technically my last day that I'm going to work on is the 10th of December. So maybe the Monday after that I will make a start, and it'll be my maternity leave start. But yeah, I'll definitely be making a start on it the end of this year rather than the beginning of next. I'm going to be rather busy by the end of January. And I definitely want to make a start on her. She's been, you know, I had the chart for my birthday, so she's been sat around for 6 months already. So quite a long time. My other thing that I was going to show you is I've signed up for the hands-on design Christmas stitch along. I don't know if you've seen this online. It's a mystery stitch along, but it's called the Christmas Cookie Exchange. And I just had to treat myself to it. So I've bought some linen for that. So it's Murano 32 count linen. It's very similar to the Picture This Plus Glacier, to be honest, but this is Swigart, so you can see it's got that wonderful mottled blue, the called for was by like hand dyed fabrics by Stephanie or something, but they're US based, and I didn't think it would get here on time for me to take part in the stitch along, because I want to do it when the stitch along starts at the beginning of December. So I went out and I bought something in a very similar colour, and the colour it's called Tiffany Blue or something. So I got this beautiful fabric, and I think that will work really well. At the same time, I also, because I bought this from my LNS, I also brought some gorgeous sparkly Edinburgh linen, 35 count. Sorry, my screen's asleep again. You can't see this. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so you can just see it's so glittery and so beautiful. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. Part of me thought maybe Christmas ornaments, or I've got the Christmas ABC Lizzie Kate upstairs, and I think that would look amazing on it, because that's got lots of blank space around the letters, and it might look really nice. And I've got other projects and bits and pieces lying around that might work as well, so lots of options, but I'm really looking forward to stitching on that. It's just so beautiful. Lots of linen sneaking into my fabric, which is unusual. Oh, 123 Stitch, when I ordered the fabric, I also ordered the Mandarinks Design Snapshots for February through June. So I already ordered January back in the spring. So I got February, March. Nice to see a March that isn't St. Patrick's Day themed. April, May, which I love, my birthday month, and I just think it's so pretty, and June. I will buy the other 6 at some point, but I'm not in any rush, since these probably won't get done next year. They'll probably be the year after, once I've finished the Lizzie Kate Stamps monthly series. So those are those. Oh, I was going to show you. So the great thing about Cookie Exchange, or one of the many great things about it, is they provided you with some floss drops for all the thread to go on. So I cut these out, I backed them with some Christmas cookie paper, laminated them. I've just got to hole punch them now and put my floss on there. But this is the second lot that I made, because, I mean, they're so cute. Look at those. They're just adorable. But the first lot that I made, I had a little bit of a boo-boo. The laminator decided that it didn't like it very much, and it had a fit, and destroyed them. I thought you'd get a laugh out of that. So I did them a second time, and they came out perfect. Now all I've got to do is hole punch them and put my floss on there. I did buy all of the floss, and the floss is just... The colours are so great and so unexpected. I mean, look at these blues. Just look at those blues. For a Christmas design, you wouldn't expect blues like that, would you? And the others are very traditional Christmassy colours, with the reds and the browns and the greens. I think this is all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, there are 2 colours still in the bag, I think. Ah, yes. Yes, so the grey and the white as well. So very expected sort of colours. And then you get these beautiful teals, which are just adorable. So I'm really looking forward to that being released. It's not released until the first part is released on the 1st, then there's another part on the 3rd, and then there's another part on the 5th of December. So it's less than a month away, but I have my fabric, I have my floss, I have my sign up, and my emails will come in. And then I can make a start, and I'm so excited to do my first ever stitch along at the same time as everybody else, because normally I buy stitch alongs and then I do them some point way in the future. I also brought some other floss to go in my Bisley drawers, because I treated myself to some Bisley drawers in the summer to keep my floss in, and I knew that I was out. I didn't have some other colours, so I got a handful of colours to start building up my stash of floss. I hate having to go out and buy new floss for every project when I could be shopping at home, so so to speak. So I'm definitely working on getting my floss collection bulked up a little bit, especially as next year getting out is going to be a lot trickier. So yeah, I think that's all of my haul. So my plans for the rest of November are the Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. I'm definitely going to be going at that like there's no tomorrow, until the end of the month, trying to get Rudolph in and get that whole middle shelf of the cake tray finished. I don't think I showed you the picture of what that will look like finished, although most of you have probably seen it elsewhere. It does have my old address printed across the front of it. It's not my address now, so I'm not too bothered. But yeah, there she is. So as you can see, I've already done pretty much half of that shelf. The fabric I dyed myself. It's coffee dyed. If you go back to a previous video, you'll see how I did that. I used the Stitching with the Housewives coffee dyeing tutorial. I tried stitching it on white, and it became very apparent quite quickly that the snow and Santa's beard, because I started with Santa last time, and I stitched all the red and that was lovely, and then I stitched the white and you could not see any of it. So it shows up much better now that I've got my coffee dye fabric, and it still smells quite strongly of coffee even though it's almost a year since I dyed it. I think I dyed it on like Boxing Day last year, back when we were all stuck in our houses and not allowed to see our families. So Christmas this year is going to be very different. My family are coming here because I'll be over 8 months pregnant, and I was like, there's no way I'm travelling all the way around the West Midlands. You can come to us. My sister's offered to cook, so, and hopefully my husband and my brother will take care of the washing up, and I can just relax because I'm not going to be allowed to eat a lot of the Christmas treats because of gestational diabetes. How much fun. Yeah, and then hopefully I will make a start on the cookie exchange as soon as it comes out, and so by my next video I will have that piece completed and ready to show you. I am really excited to be doing that. So I think that's everything. I'm going to go and edit and pop in all the pictures that I talked about. If you have any questions, please do get in touch. I love hearing from people who are watching. And I probably have forgotten a million pieces of information, so don't worry about asking if there's something that you wanted to know that I didn't put in. Blame it on the baby brain, but let's face it, I forget things a lot. It's not just since the pregnancy that's been a thing. Yeah, so until next time, which will not be another 6 months. I have no intention of waiting that long again, but I have no intention of it being this long last time either. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Maybe I'll cut that bit out. Yeah, so until next time, happy stitching, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon.